Then finally, the question of where will India-Pakistan relations go under Shahbaz?
And that is the $1 billion one as far as our audience is concerned. Yes.
Sure. So, look, I think it's a very interesting time for the India Pakistan relationship. And let me start with India first. I think India is at a different place today than, say, 2018 and 2019 when Khan came into power. At the time, Prime Minister Modi was about to go into an election. I think there was still a major shadow of the attacks that had taken place in Uri and Pathankot. And I think at the time there was a serious view in the Indian establishment that a more coercive approach towards Pakistan was kind of the way to go. And so Imran Khan, even if he wanted to engage with India, I don't think the Indian side was quite ready yet. I think they wanted to try a different policy approach at the time. Today, things are different. I think India has faces some real geopolitical headwinds. I think with the Chinese with the border dispute involving China
Right.
persisting, and due to the Russia's invasion of Ukraine and how that's bearing on India's relationships with major powers. I think India has been rethinking how it wants to approach the Pakistan question. And in comes Shehbaz Sharif, who, like his brother, would like to normalize ties with India. I think he's ready to meet India halfway, and he'll be able to build on something we have not heard much about, which is this back channel between India and Pakistan that Pakistan, the Army Chief General Bajwa has been running. And if rumor is to be believed,
Absolutely.
right on
Yes.
the
Yes.
on the
There is
on the
this.
go ahead.
There is this entire conversation because at the LOC, and as far as infiltration is concerned, that's sort of quieting down over the last, because the stated foreign policy priority, or the stated priority of the Modi government has been now that our attention needs to be focused over China more than Pakistan, because that's where the real problem is, as far as India is concerned, and
Right,
as far
right.
as the borders are concerned. Yeah.
Right, right. So I think there is a possibility of a thaw. I think some important groundwork appears to have been done over the last 2 years. The ceasefire is now in its second year. The ceasefire, which was revived and reaffirmed by the militaries of both sides in Feb 2021, appears to have stuck, and that indicates that there is a degree of confidence, on both sides right now. And as you mentioned about infiltration levels, in my tracking as well, it appears that infiltrations are at their lowest levels in many years. So I think Shabazz has a real opportunity here, and he might be able to move the conversation that's been taking place between India and Pakistan behind the scenes to the front stage, and I suspect that the Indian government would also be willing to engage with him.
Okay, that's interesting, and maybe some good news, because India and Pakistan, the relations had sort of nosedived considerably under Imran Khan, and well, it's I mean, if that happens, because I remember those visuals when you were talking about it, the visuals of Prime Minister Modi's surprise visit to Islamabad during Nawaz Sharif, when Nawaz Sharif was the Prime Minister, and their meeting there. That is still fresh in the memory, and now with Shehbaz. Coming to the seat of power in Pakistan. But you're saying that the relations between India and Pakistan definitely can tell. But I was listening to Shehbaz Sharif speaking today. He did bring up the Kashmir issue again today when he was talking, and he did say that Kashmir is going to be an issue, and that probably is the thorn that is going to be a little festering one as far as India and Pakistan is concerned.
Right. I think domestic politically, it's it's impossible to not keep Kashmir as a as one of the main issues that any Pakistani politician will lead with. But I will note that last year there was this proposal to start trade between India and Pakistan right after the ceasefire was restored. And initially, it appeared that Imran Khan's government was on board with the idea, but at the last minute, they sort of stepped back from that proposal, and trade could not be revived. So my sense is that we'll see these kind of piecemeal initiatives um, uh, going into effect. I think we can hope for resumption of trade ties, perhaps more people-to-people contact, and maybe that will pave the way for the resumption of the broader framework of discussion, which is known as the composite dialogue between the two sides.
Right. Yeah, so far what we've heard from him in an interview to Geo News, Shehbaz Sharif did say today that he does want peace with India, but not, of course, peace is not possible, he said, without the resolution of the Kashmir issue. And that, of course, as you said, is something that will be sort of one of the areas that, he and the Indian establishment will probably work on in the days to come.